Welcome to Flat Derp Twitterocracy, everyone. Introducing Rebel Rue, whose profile says, always punching for the truth, goodness, and social responsibility because they all go hand in hand. I found a few posts with videos to review, and needless to say, Rebel Rue hits all the flat earth derpiness. This first bit of derp comes with a post that says, if gravity were a person, it would constantly be unemployed because it never turns up to work.
This is a simple observation anyone can do at home. You need a container, put water in it, cover the entry of the container, and invert it. You've just made anti-gravity water.
What the hell did you just say?
Or did gravity just have a sick day today? Maybe, if we put the mass of the water closer to the mass of the Earth, this will increase the gravity. No? How about we accelerate the mass to increase the force of gravity? Still not working. I know, this is no longer the accepted theory of gravity for today. What we need to do is bend some space-time. Just bend a bit of space-time, trying to make gravity appear? Gravity just doesn't want to turn up. Tell you what, if gravity were a person, it would be constantly unemployed, because it never turns up to work.
I see gravity working just fine. This is definitely a clear case of Mitchell of Australia not understanding. It's really simple physics. The air pressure exerted on the lid from underneath it is greater than the weight of the water inside the glass.
What I'm demonstrating here is this very weak vacuum is stronger than gravity. So if we see this very weak vacuum overcome gravity at its strongest when it is closer to the Earth, why then do we never see the extreme infinite vacuum of space overcome gravity at its weakest at a further distance? But yet we are told by the heliocentric magicians the entire atmosphere is pulled down by gravity. Don't take any notice of the natural law this violates, and the globe literally being the only example of this violation and can't be demonstrated.
Heliocentric magicians, weak vacuum, and violations of natural law. Since this is Mitchell of Australia, we know that he is hitting the flat earth talking points hard.
Well, I've got a magic trick too. I can use my wand to make gravity appear. Did the water just fall due to gravity? Again, this isn't gravity. If it were helium inside the container, it would not fall. It would rise out of the container. What we're seeing here is the second law of thermodynamics, and also nature abhorring a vacuum, meaning nature can never allow a vacuum to exist. When the container is inverted, the pressure inside is slightly less than the pressure outside the container. The air pressure outside is pushing on the container from all directions. The high pressure wants to flow to the lower pressure, but the lid prevents the high pressure entering. So the vacuum inside the container is not sucking the water and holding it up.
First, he explained what the cause is for this happening, so kudos to him. Second, Mitchell used an outside force, the wand, to knock the lid off. We all know that water always finds the path of least resistance. In this case, toward the center of gravity, which is down. Third, he brought up the second law of thermodynamics, which flat earthers always get wrong, and nature abhorring a vacuum. Since there are air and water in that glass, we can dismiss his nature abhorring a vacuum claim. As far as the second law of thermodynamics is concerned, put simply, thermodynamics is the study of the interrelation between heat, work, and internal energy of a system. As the water fell out of the glass, the lighter air molecules rushed in to take the water's place, thus showing entropy.
The slightly higher pressure on the outside is pushing against the lid, trying to get in. But when the surface tension is disturbed, the contents of the container do not fall due to gravity. It is pushed out from the pressure rushing in to create equilibrium of air pressure. This is entropy, following the second law of thermodynamics. The high pressure enters the container, pushing the water out, and the water falls due to relative density, whilst finding equilibrium of pressure. High pressure always flowing from higher to lower and never flowing in reverse. This is a natural law without exception.
So the higher pressure from under the cup pushed the water out and it didn't fall due to gravity? It was all about relative density?
So how is it that the high air pressure of our atmosphere does not immediately try to find equilibrium with the very low infinite vacuum of space directly next to it? Well, it's obviously not due to gravity, as demonstrated by this very weak vacuum. This also demonstrates nature abhorring a vacuum. There are literally no examples of a naturally occurring vacuum. Nature always seeks equilibrium, so a natural vacuum is impossible. This here is a man-made vacuum. And a very weak one, defying gravity. And that up there is also a man-made vacuum. So what I'd like to put to you, after I demonstrate how hard it is to break this very weak vacuum, which is taking a lot of force here, is if man never existed, then a vacuum would never have existed, because nature always seeks equilibrium, so there is no such thing as a natural vacuum. So if you still think we're living on a spinning globe, flying through space, you've successfully been indoctrinated.
On to our next bit of Flat Earth Twitter derp. This video is a retweet of a video from the TikTok account of Dirkstad. Rebel Ruse post says, if you know 100% the Earth is flat and the Big Bang Theory is a hoax, then what is CERN really all about? The post it is retweeted from says, this man makes a pretty cool connection between the Bible and Satan's whereabouts on planet Earth. Which country do you guys think? Make a wild guess.
Today, as I was reading scripture, I came across something that blew my mind. The Bible tells us where Satan's throne is.
Here we have someone using the Bible as evidence to support their twisted narrative. Those are the most dangerous conspiracy-minded people, in my opinion.
In Revelations 2 and 13 it says, I know thy works and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. And thou holdest fast my name, and hast not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwelleth. So where was Antipas slain? And when you look it up, it takes us here. And when you Google where Antipas was martyred, it brings you to Geneva, Switzerland.
The Antipas he's referring to is Herrod Antipas and was the son of Herod I the Great. Caligula banished Antipas to Gaul to live out his life in exile. Since he used Wikipedia as a source, I took a look and it states, his place of exile is described by Josephus in Antiquities as Lugdunum, a city in Gaul, and as Spain in War of the Jews. There are two places in France that claim to be the place of exile. Lyon, Lugdunum, and Saint Bertrand de Comminges, Lugdunum Convenet, on the Spanish border.
Says the traditional account goes on to say Antipas was martyred during the reign of Nero by burning in a brazen bull-shaped altar at the Apollyon Temple in Geneva, Switzerland. And that, of course, got me to wondering, what exactly is in Geneva? Let's take a look. The CERN-Hadron Collider, for one.
He means CERN-Hadron Collider. And of course, we all know why he is mentioning CERN. Conspiracy.
Where they're trying to discover and replicate the Big Bang. And of course, if I was the devil and wanted control over the world, I would be sure to bring all the world organizations to where I was.
First, Satan is a human concept used as a means to control. Second, the Bible is not evidence of anything.
Such as the United Nations. I might bring along the World Health Organization as well. And I would definitely want the World Trade Organization there. And I would definitely have Gavi there, the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunizations. And you can't finance an empire without having the World Economic Forum in Geneva, Switzerland. And of course, I would have all the other organizations there.
Okay, and all of the EU's governing agencies are in Brussels, Belgium. So what do world and international organizations having offices in Geneva, Switzerland have to do with Satan? Oh, right. He believes there's a connection because of Antipas, Satan's throne, etc. So there has to be a connection for his twisted narrative, of course.
33 international organizations. 33. Isn't there significance to that number?
Only if you want there to be, I guess. But the answer is no.
But I'll be honest with you. When I saw this today, it literally blew my mind. I don't even have words. But if you have eyes to see, the information is out there.
People that look for things to justify their beliefs will always find them wherever they look. Does that mean those things are reality? No. I am not sure where this next video is from, but there was an ad for the Flat Earth Sun and Moon Clock app that David Weiss, DITRH, owns, so it could be from his channel. I did check to see, but I had no luck in finding it.
The Eratosthenes shadow experiment is used as a proof that the Earth is a globe. But moonlight creates the exact same shadows as the sun, which completely disproves this experiment.
No, it doesn't. The moon is lit by the sun, so the light that reaches Earth from a full moon is reflected sunlight.
But before going into more detail about this, I will briefly explain Eratosthenes' experiment for those who may not know about it or forgot what it was. Eratosthenes noticed that at the same time on Earth, shadows are of different lengths and angles depending on where you are on Earth. He then wondered how this was possible, and ultimately deduced that this is only possible if the sun's light comes parallel to the Earth, and the Earth is a curved surface, as shown in the diagram. However, the sun's light can only be assumed to be parallel because the sun is claimed to be 109 times larger than the Earth.
The sun's light is virtually parallel, as seen here. The sun is not 109 times larger than the Earth. The sun is 864,000 miles, or 1,392,000 kilometers in diameter, which makes it 109 times wider than Earth. Meaning you could fit 109 Earths side by side across the equator of the sun.
But this then creates a paradox, because the moon also casts the exact same shadows as the sun, and yet the moon is only supposed to be a quarter the size of the Earth. The problem is, if the moon's light is assumed to be parallel, then it would only illuminate a small portion of the Earth.
Why? The moon is not close and local like flat earthers tend to believe. The moon is an average of 238,855 miles, or 384,400 kilometers away. And it, like the sun, is not a spotlight.
But we know that this is false. Half of the Earth is supposed to be able to see the moon at any given time when the moon is illuminated. And so half of the Earth should also be illuminated by the moon. But by assuming parallel light from the moon, half of the Earth would not be illuminated by the moon. So the moon's light cannot be parallel, but it has to be if the sun's light is supposed to be parallel, because they both must create the same shadows. The only way that the sun and the moon can create the same shadows is if both lights act in the same way.
The moon reflects between 3% to 12% of the sun's light. And like the sun's light, its light is also scattered by our atmosphere.
And only the flat Earth model has both the sun and the moon illuminating the Earth in the same way. Both are radial lights that are smaller and closer to the Earth than in the globe model. So by also considering the light of the moon, only one model allows both the sun and the moon to cast the same shadows, the flat Earth model, while
There is no flat Earth model. There's only flat Earth misunderstanding.
the globe model cannot account for this. Furthermore, it can be easily proven that the sun's light is not parallel by comparing how the sun looks to lights that are known to have parallel light. Spotlights, although not perfectly parallel light, are sufficiently parallel, and we should all know what it looks like when a spotlight shines at us. But if not, here is footage to remind you. When the spotlight shines at you, you do not see a circle. Rather, your entire view is blinded by light. However, when the sun is shining on the Earth, we see the circle of the sun. But if the light were parallel, it should appear the same as a spotlight. But it does not, so the light cannot be parallel.
If that spotlight were 93 million miles away and as large as the sun, our tiny Earth would effectively get parallel light rays from it.
Rather, the sun looks like any ordinary light, which proves that it acts in the same way, where the light emanates radially, not parallel.
Have you had enough derp yet? No? Okay. Would it surprise you to know that Rebel.ru not only retweets others' videos, but images and GIFs as well? They do, and of course, they do it with their conspiracy glasses on. Is this astronaut an actress, or is this actress an astronaut? This is something that flat earthers just don't understand, and use as, see, astronauts are just actors, as an attempted gotcha argument. The woman in these images is Mae Jemison. According to airandspace.si.edu, she attended Stanford University at age 16 and earned her bachelor's degree in chemical engineering and African American studies. She went on to receive her medical degree from Cornell University and served 2 years in the Peace Corps in West Africa as a staff physician. Her responsibilities there included managing the healthcare delivery system for the Peace Corps and the U.S. Embassy in Liberia and Sierra Leone. Her background includes research in nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, reproductive biology, and a hepatitis B and rabies vaccine. In the wake of the Space Shuttle Challenger tragedy, Jemison left her private medical practice in Los Angeles and applied to become an astronaut candidate. She was one of 15 chosen from a pool of 2,000 applicants in 1988. She completed extensive training, eventually becoming assigned to STS-47, a Space Lab Life Sciences mission. On this 8-day flight, Jemison served as a science mission specialist and carried out experiments on the effects of space motion sickness, frog fertilization in space, and bone loss during spaceflight. As well as being the first African-American female astronaut, she became the first African-American woman in space on the Space Shuttle Endeavour in 1992. She left NASA in 1993 and did not appear on any movie or TV shows until that same year. As seen in the image on the right, she appeared as Lieutenant Palmer on Star Trek The Next Generation in 1993. She appeared in the movie No Gravity as herself in 2011, and this year voiced herself in the animated Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. She also was the technical consultant for the TV series Mars for 6 episodes in 2018. I see black horns coming out of her head. The red outfit and bold makeup enhances it. I can't say it appeals to me. In this case, Rebel.ru is simply seeing what they want to see. Diamond formation occurs when carbon deposits deep within the Earth are subject to high temperature and pressure. How does a NASA space probe withstand such high temperatures and pressure when visiting Neptune? Here, Rebel.ru is assuming that Voyager 2 actually went to Neptune's surface. It never did. It did a flyby in space. Boom. The deception of man is coming to an end, and because this has always been God's realm. Okay. Though twin suns can be caused by several factors, it appears that Rebel.ru, like most flat earthers, knows nothing of cameras. According to flatearth.ws, a flat earth meme debunking website, cameras can produce artifacts that can be creatively interpreted as another sun. Most cameras, especially low-quality ones, produce lens flares on bright objects against darker surroundings. Cross-threaded or poorly aligned camera filters can cause offset lens reflection, which can cause another sun to appear next to the actual sun. Vapor of chemicals in the air are reflecting off the sunlight, and the subsequent rainbow takes the shape of the dome. #firmament. This moonbow taken by my brother in Cumberland Falls, Kentucky, seems to debunk this bit of religiflurf logic. Anyone identifying as they/them may need to seek an urgent exorcism. This is why I call Rebel.ru a religiflurf, and why they are dangerous due to their Bible literalist mindset. We all know flat earthers think that they know all the hidden secrets that they purposely hide from us in plain sight while shoving the globe down our collective throats. We, on the other hand, know that flat earthers are merely using their
indoctrination
to indoctrinate others because they just don't understand. Please hit the like button, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And hit the bell and click all to get notified of any new uploaded content. Look, I know it's YouTube and it's broken, but you never know. You may get notified. Give it a try. Thank you for watching. You are all awesome. See you in the next video.